Welcome back to the Burlington Hotel in Dublin for the 2010 PaddyPowerPoker.com Irish Open, where there's an available prize pool of €2.2 million. This program includes world-class players as well as personalities with a touch of glamour. But who will go out in the bubble and walk away empty-handed? Let's join the action.
To start off day two, in seat one of the few Yanks with a tank. This is Tyler Patterson from the state of Washington in the USA. Just over 28,000 in chips. Seat number two from England. He's a mate of Scallies. This is Kenny Burke from Lancs. In seat number three, young Irishman who's part of a dynasty of Irish poker players, Stephen McLean, just over 13K. Seat number four, the short stack currently at the table from Cumbria. This is Englishman Darren Naylor. And a German on the table in seat number five, Dr. Bernd Philipp Hoff, with 20,000 plus in chips and no eyes. In seat six, he's come from a new continent, South African Mark Hallett, with 19,175 in chips. He was the 2008 Irish Poker Open champion, Neil Channing. He's got his work cut out with 10,000 in chips. And rounding out the table, a Dane in seat number 8. This is Lars Frost. Day two of this Irish Open dawns bright in Dublin clear. Some may be bleary-eyed, but not the 256 remaining who have hope of becoming an Irish Open champion. One player at this table tasted that before, Neil Channing, and he's got his work cut out for him on 10K. Just over his starting stack, and with the blinds at 4 and 800, running ante of 50. That's only in the 15 big blind range, so that's why he's maybe a little bit tense. Interesting dynamic at this table, you notice right off, is that no one has that many chips. Kenny Burke, we're there, raising from the 2 seat, small blind, deuce 3, up to 2,000. And he's one of the larger stacks at this table and only has, 20 big blind neighborhoods, so he's moving.
Good strategy. Yeah.
So this day two at Park, they lost so many players on day one that there's almost sort of an expectation that things will slow down a little bit on day two, you think?
There's been a lot of complaints at this tournament that people didn't get enough chips starting off. But, I mean, looking back at last year's tournament, I mean, there was so much play at the business end of the tournament that, it's worth it. I'd rather have the crapshoot at the start of the tournament than at the end of it.
Absolutely. And the all-in announced from Channing, he's only got about 12 big blinds. So this is kind of standard for him. And he'd be doing this with a lot of hands, I'm guessing.
I think so.
He had a really short stack when he won this tournament in 2008 on day two.
Not the last hand he did.
9, 2, 7, 5, yeah.
Well, that's plenty, the king-queen suited.
I think you can ask Don Fagan about what happened at Channing's short stack on day two.
You can see 246 players, just over a third of the starting contestants. And it was just Stephen McLean in seat 3 in the big blind Park. I mean, if there's two major dynasties in Irish poker, you've got the Fagans and you've got the McLeans. No? Is that another one that's just my views?
Well, what about the Mafia, Christy Smith and company? Anyway, that's the kind of stuff we would expect from Channing at this stage of the tournament. Neil's a pretty clever player. He knows exactly what his range should be for this kind of move.
And I guess with the first round of the table being a little tight, he's kind of recognized that maybe he can pick up a few chips. What is it, like about 1,500 a round he's going to grab?
Had a big duel up there. I shouldn't have looked at the second card, so because
it's interesting you mentioned the dynamics of the TV table, Park, because you were on it on day one. It seemed to embolden people, but sometimes it tightens people up as well.
Yeah, I mean, but generally speaking, being on the TV table, people don't want to look silly, and it mightn't be as aggressive as they are outside. But you're right, at my TV table, it kind of worked the other way. That a few guys decided to make a name for themselves.
And how about this? I mean, Channing, this is his third time in a row all in, and Patterson, this is really marginal for him. He's
Yeah,
thinking about
I
it.
think he might have called the first or the second time, but you know, sometimes people think that if a guy has moved 3 times, that so the third time he definitely has a hand.
Well, one guy who's definitely got a hand is Kenny Burke.
And we know at least one ace is gone, so Channing's in a bit of trouble. But you can't really fault the play. He's gone on a chip gathering mission here, and it's
It always works until it doesn't, and when it doesn't work, you have to try and get lucky. That's the spot Channing's in, but he knows this is part of tournament poker.
of course he does. Very experienced player.
Oh, wow. Well, that's how you win the Irish Open, Park. As Channing well knows, you got a hit, and poor Kenny Burke just had his heart ripped out from him. And
I think he looks like it was more than the heart. That is pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the guy beside him has probably said, I passed an ace. So you normally get another guy piping up saying he passed an ace as well, just to...
just 2 kings.
And a straight for Channing, just to show that he can do it any way he likes.
So, just in case Tyler Patterson had called with the ace-9, the deck just made sure. But how tough is Channing going to be now with the basically near the chip lead at the table? That's what Kenny Burke's got left. And it hurts. I mean, look at that. You know, it's, as you well know, Parg, getting drawn out on is...
I usually get it in with the worst hands, so I'm not really familiar with the feeling. But, you know, I mean, like, this is Ireland's, this is Europe's premier tournament, in my humble opinion. And, you know, I promise you, you know, this is the one day of the year when you get knocked out of a European tournament that it really hurts.
And I saw that several times yesterday, talking to a couple guys in the bar last night. Guys who you usually play hundreds of tournaments, literally a year.
Raised all in.
This is the one that they really want. And Frost with the jacks, and Burke has found an ace-king right after the kings. He'll have a race to double up.
Well, I think anybody except Frost wouldn't begrudge Burke to double up here after his adventure or misadventure with Channing. You don't look like a guy who's expecting to hit an ace or a king.
2875 to call.
But, you know, pretty automatic.
If he gets a double up here,
call.
He could be right back in it.
Well, he certainly could be. I mean, over 10,000 in the pot, and that's the stack that Channing just had. Kenny Burke has had, there's Lars, he's had a kick in the teeth, and now the punch in the gut.
It's a little lower than that, Jesse.
Okay, good luck, guys. Don't lock you.
And you got to feel for this young man.
Well, I certainly buy him a drink in the...
Well, if he's got a cat, I hope he left it at home.
I'd certainly buy him a
Might
drink
have
in
to
the
send for
bar.
the RSPCA.
I just wouldn't want to stand next to him for the first 3 of them. I think he's going to have a little bit of venting to do. But for Lars Frost, the Dane, looking for to be a survivor. It's really important you're here, Parg, because you're probably...
Because you couldn't get anybody else.
Well, I think a lot of people, among other things, consider you maybe the keeper of Irish Open history and nostalgia. I mean, this is such a prestigious title. We've had so many people actually in here claiming to have played in every Irish Open and even won some of them. You know, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the list of people who actually won the Irish Open and the list of people who say they did, it's if everybody who said they won the Irish Open as many times as they did, it would have started sometime around about 1842.
An all-in and a call from Tyler Patterson. He feels like he's had enough information to reckon that his calling range should be wide. I don't know what they got. Oh, yeah. Well,
Patterson did pass the ace-9 before, didn't he?
Yeah.